I'm really tired, guys. I'm tired physically because I haven't been able to sleep in a very long time. But I am more tired emotionally. I see so many posts on Facebook from my friends that are spreading misinformation and hate. And I know that's not what they mean. I know that they think that they are protecting their rights of freedom and that they're not being damaging. But you have the right to speak your mind. I just want you to take the moment before to think about how it can appear to your friends who are people of color. Because I don't even know where to begin on some of the things. The I would like to start by saying that Christianity and Christian faith isn't aligned to a specific political doctrine. In fact, if anything, Jesus was extremely liberal. And his whole thing was give Caesar his due, but that it didn't have to do with faith. Like, if he was living in a democracy, I doubt he would align himself with Democrats or Republicans. I don't think that Christianity is something that has to do with political sides. And so you don't have to defend the Republican Party the same way you defend Christ. And you can hold views on both sides. Like, you can still be against abortion and be a Democrat. Or you can believe that you should have the right to guns and still believe that you are liberal. Like, it's okay. It's okay not to support Trump. And I've seen some posts, a picture of Trump with some black leaders, and the caption was, and they call this man racist now. And I'm sorry, but one action and one photo, or even multiple actions and multiple photos, does not an anti racist make. Like, he has done so much that makes it very clear where he stands on the value of people who are not white. He is so against immigration and so against Black Lives Matter. Like, the fact that after all weeks of America being in chaos and he has not released, like, had a speech about this is just it's bad leadership. And it doesn't matter. I don't care if you support Trump. um I do care if you support this movement. And I know that a lot of you are so frustrated because there's different news outlets right now that are saying that the second wave is hitting of coronavirus, and it's because states reopening, and everyone's like, no, it's because of the protests. How can you say that you needed to stay inside and get mad at the protests against staying inside for COVID, but not get mad at the protests over Black Lives Matter? And I have to point out something. Like, I am a staunch supporter of staying inside for COVID. Like, you guys know how mad I was getting with everyone protesting that and going outside, because to me it was selfish. It was saying that capitalism and money was more important than human lives. And the difference between the protests against COVID and the protests against Black Lives Matter is the protests against COVID was about business. It was not about human lives. The Black Lives Matter protest is about human lives. Like, you have to understand that in America and across the world, people of color have spent their entire time not feeling safe. Not feeling safe going outside, not being safe around authority, not feeling like they have equal opportunity because they don't. It I can send you some stats, but it's shown in the numbers. Black lives have not mattered up until now. And I mean, of course they've mattered, but they have never felt mattered. Because for some reason, white people feel this superiority as if, I don't know, I don't understand it. I really don't. And we've whitewashed history. We've made it seem like we're all the heroes and the best people. We've even made Jesus white, even though he most definitely was not white. Like, I'm sorry. He was born in Israel. Like, he was most definitely, he did not look like me. Like, that's for sure. And I just, yes, they're out protesting. And yes, it'll probably increase the spread of COVID. They're doing the best they can to decrease that by wearing masks, which is very important. And I know that American people in the beginning said it wasn't. And part of the reason they did that was because they didn't have the supplies. But here in Asia, we were able to get our numbers down really quickly because without fully ever closing, because we wore masks and we practiced social distancing. And I posted a picture the other day, and I still think it's important to look at, is, you know, when the bus driver tells you to wear seatbelts because it makes you stay safe, you put on your seatbelt. But when that same bus driver starts shooting at you, it's time to unbuckle. And that's what this is. The government told you to stay safe, social distance, and wear masks. And great, do it, stay safe. But that same government, we've seen time and time again, has not protected our brothers and sisters who are people of color. And that video of George Floyd was just the straw that broke the back. And it's time to say no. It's time to say that it's just not one bad apple. We are a garden full of bad apples, guys. And so, yeah, I support the Black Lives Matters protests because it's about human lives. And the rioting and looting is such a small percentage of what's going on. And a lot of that's not being done by Black people, by the way. A majority of these protests are peaceful, and when they turn violent, it's not the protesters who are turning it violent. I don't understand how you can see these videos of police officers in full riot gear beating helpless, peaceful protesters and say that it's the protesters who are on the wrong side of history right now. Because it's not. It's us. It's the people who put politics above human life. And I think it was not okay to break social distancing in order to get a haircut or in order to go to the bar or hang out with friends or even go to church. Because none of those things are necessary. You can hold church now online and still have fellowship. And you don't need a haircut. And you don't need to go to restaurants. Those are all capitalist ideals. And yes, it's difficult, especially with jobs. But if you read Matthew 6, you should know that God loves you, and it doesn't matter if you toil because he will provide for you. So you cannot use that as an excuse. I know it's hard. I did not have pay for a while there, and then I was working for a very long time for lower pay with the same amount of work, and it was hard. But I did it to protect human lives, and that's what we should be doing. The reason I think that the Black Lives Matters protests are okay and definitely a good reason to break quarantine is because we are called to protect the downtrodden, to support the ones that are not loved and are not cared for and are outcasts. Like, no matter how hard it is, no matter if it risks our lives. We shouldn't risk our lives for capitalism, but yes, risk our lives for human beings, for the children of God. So, yeah, I just wanted to say that. I just want to say that no, I don't think that reopening the states as soon as that happened was the smart move for COVID. And yes, cases will increase because of these protests. But it doesn't matter. Like, we need to be there for our brothers and sisters of color. We need to change the system. We need to make it so that it's not okay and not protected when a police officer attacks innocent citizens. And I really think that I love and I support my family and friends who are in law enforcement. I know how hard of a job it is. And no, I do not think that you guys are racist. But I know that the system is. It just is. It started in it entire America was established on principles that need to be broken down. And I think that right now we are asking too much of our police force, and that it does need to be stepped back. That we need to spend more money on mental health and on education and on the homeless in America, and spend less money on turning America into a war ground. And I just really hope that before you post angry comments or try and convince me that I'm wrong, that you remember I I have a lot of people of color on my Facebook feed. And if they see those comments attacking that I think it's okay that they are protesting, and you say no, it's not, what does that say to them? And it's okay if you were wrong in the past. It's not okay if you hold staunchly to that opinion. Okay? I love all of you. I love every single Trump supporter. And I love every single Black Lives Matter protester. I love the people who are saying that COVID is a conspiracy. And the people who are staying safely inside. I just want to see change. I want us to grow as humans. I want people like me to recognize that we have inherent privilege. Even if you don't feel it, we have it. And I want us to love and support and raise up the people around us, no matter what color their skin is, because race is something we made up. It, we decided to categorize people by where they were born and what color their skin is, and none of that makes any difference. We are all people. So I I don't have a way to end this. I do plan on posting some more videos about my thoughts on the defund the police movement, and um, on how I think that we can begin to support people and support change. Um, but I needed to say I needed to respond to all these posts I've been seeing by my friends, and I just want you guys to rethink. Okay.